Okay, so in the previous two masterclass videos, I will link in the description so you can see which ones I'm talking about. I went into a really deep dive with this example, Grand Tableau, that I did over a year ago now. In these videos, because there'll probably be a little series of very short videos, I want to look at some of the details, and hopefully this will help you to see the way that I find a story. Okay, so I was reading for a lady. I've made this person player 2, the Labradorite crystal. They were falling in the house of the star. This was the point at which I did the reading. I think it was Wednesday, the 19th of February 2025, as far as I remember from my notes. And so looking at this, there's a few things that really stand out. Now, I tend to use the stork, the card of the stork and the house of the stork, to find out what has happened. The stork for me is the kind of the spill the tea card, right? If you think about meeting someone and they say, oh my God, wait till I tell you what's happened to me over the past week. And the person goes, oh yeah, okay, spill the tea, tell me what's happened. Well, it's the stork. Well, what changed? Let me try and speak as if I'm talking from, I'm going to pretend that I'm this person that I did the reading for. If I was talking from their perspective, right? So you're listening to that person recounting the story of what has just happened, spilling the tea. This person said, oh my gosh, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days ago, clouds, 5 days ago, there was a major thing happening where there was a change, the stork, in terms of my emotional, in terms of my love life, right? The heart in the stork, because the guy that I have been seeing, right, the person that she's thinking about, because she's lost this person, the mouse to lose because of a separation, the scythe, a breakup. This person got jealous, jealous, and worried, the birds, anxious, and decided to end things with me, the coffin to end, because they believed, right, the key in the book that I was keeping secrets, the book to keep secrets, and this is what caused the trouble, because they were jealous of other people, the clouds in the garden, and this is what has led to our relationship ending, the ring left of the seeker, and me feeling lonely. The seeker knights to the tower. Stop. Okay. Right? Now, if you watch the masterclass, you'll see there's a lot more to this. There was a lot of other things happening, but that's the main gist of the story. This is us spilling the tea. Look, and the main thing is about the change of heart, the stork, the heart, to change heart. You see the way we're kind of using verbs and nouns. A change, to change, to have the verb to have a change of heart, right? There you go. We're kind of building up a sentence using verbs and nouns, or nouns and verbs. And then what we can do is we just go very simply, well, there's been a change and this person is now an ex, kind of, like I said in the masterclass, the heart is so close that you can see that more than likely there was going to be a reconciliation, and actually there was, all right, there was, I discovered that later. But you can see the fact that we have player 2 in player 1, the guy in player 2's house, so she's thinking about him, she's missing him, the mouse, to miss, the verb to miss, right? But also you can see how this person is worried because they feel like there might be, they're anxious, the birds, because they feel like there might be someone else in the picture. The birds, and how do we know this? We start knighting. The birds goes up to the book in the house of the dog, and the heart In the house of the stork, night's up to the dog in the clouds, going down to the garden. In the house of the key's in the house of the book, and the clouds are in the house of the garden. The clouds mirror the key, right? You see how using this technique of doing small chains, the heart in the stork in the coffin, we stop the chain, and then we go through the whip, through the moon, to the clouds. And in that journey, what we do is we find information about why. Why is this person worried that this person is going to be lying to them about their emotions, lying about seeing someone else, that there might be a rival, the snake, a rival, right? Another lover. Well, because the person's reputation, remember this is a reading for player 2, their reputation, the moon, is blocked, because that's why the moon's in the house of the mountain, okay? And then we see the reason for that with the next card, the garden in the house of the key, and the key in the house of the book. The key will tell you a huge amount about what's going on, and also you see another way of looking at this, how not only does the garden mirror the dog in the house of the clouds. So the main issue is with other people, garden in key. The main issue is really specifically with a friend who this person's worried, maybe more of a friend, or maybe kind of hiding things, the dog in the clouds, there's no clarity. And also the fact that the main issue, key, is the fact that there are secrets that have caused this trouble 5 days ago. Key, going to the clouds. Okay, I'm going to stop there, but I hope that kind of gives you a very brief way of looking at this, so that hopefully you start to see the patterns. Like I was saying, the mini chains of houses, I always go from either player 1 or player 2, or both of them, but mainly the person that I'm reading for, the seeker. I then look for the clouds, I then look for the stork. Those are my main cards. I'm hoping what I'm trying to convey in perhaps a rather inarticulate way here, what I'm trying to convey is that initially, when you're beginning to learn to read the Grand Tableau, you look at the whole thing and you think to yourself, this is what I used to do. I used to think, oh, why is the rider in the house of the rider? Why is the house in the house of the clover? Why is the anchor in the house of the ship? Why is the tree in the house of the house? Or what you do, I've seen a lot of people do this, which is a huge mistake, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. And like I've showed you in the previous video that I made, showing you an 8x4+4, what a lot of people will do is they will go onto Facebook and they'll say, ooh, what does cross key tower mean? Cross burden, key, answer, tower, work, government. What does that mean? You see? Or what does rider, house, anchor mean? Or what does crossroads, ship, fox mean? Crossroads, choice, ship, other places, fox, lies, selfish behavior. What does that mean? Yeah. You see? Yeah. It's really not a good way of doing it. You'll get yourself tangled up into so many knots. And the thing is, the more card combinations you try to learn, the worse it gets, because you'll start to think, well, how would I combine letter, dog, bear, stork, snake? A message from a friend about their boss who's changing because of deceit. It's total nonsense. You see, what people end up doing is they just make up sentences that have no meaning whatsoever. So it's much better to follow the breadcrumb trail. The breadcrumbs, there is a map, a way through the labyrinth. The way through the labyrinth is through the card of player 1 and player 2, the houses they fall in, And for me, the stork and the clouds. Follow the stork, follow the clouds, the rest will reveal itself, believe me. You see, this is a door, that's a door. It's a door into the labyrinth, and then it's a corridor which will lead you to the way out. And that's really what we're doing. It is, the more that you think of yourself like a psychic detective, imagine you've walked in on a crime scene. You're going to get overwhelmed if you look at every single detail in the room. No, you want to find the murder weapon. You want to find the blood. You want to find the body. You want to find the clues, the key. That's why we have a key. It's a clue. So in fact, the stork, the clouds, player 1, player 2, the stork, the clouds, and the key. Look at the cards, look at the houses, and find the story like you're an investigator. And trust me, it makes life much easier. Anyway, I hope that helps you. I think what I'm going to do next, by the way, just to let you know, because I'm getting back into YouTube now, I'm really enjoying this. I want to do 2 Celtic Cross spreads. We're going to do we're just going to make it up. We're going to do 2 readings as if I am reading for 2 ghosts. All right, I used to do this when I was learning myself, and it's a really good way of doing it. And I'm going to show you how I make up a story using only upright cards, first of all, to show you how I would do that. And then how I make up a story using upright and reverse cards, because I never see anyone on YouTube doing this. I used to get really frustrated because I couldn't find anyone who would kind of put their money where their mouth was and say, I read for myself, or this is how I start a reading. This is how I do a reading from scratch, and how I interpret the cards in real time, where I'm not going off and taking an hour to sit and write out notes or anything. I'm just going to tell you exactly what comes out of into my head when I look at cards. And hopefully this will give you an idea of how quickly you can read for yourself and other people, where you avoid getting wrapped up in knots, you avoid going down wrong way paths. I want to mainly try to show you that tarot cards, as with Lenormand cards, have no meaning apart from a numerical system. In this case, we don't even have that. Well, we do in the sense of 1 to 36, but that's pretty much it, you know. What does the fox mean? Well, nothing. It's just a cartoon of what appears to be a fox. What does a ship mean? Absolutely nothing. It's a cartoon of what appears to be a ship. You see, we get the meaning from our experience of the sun, from our experience of love, from our experience of secrets or learning, our experience of change, of drama, of bad weather, of health, of decisions, important decisions, our experience of people outside of our home. The minute we step out of our house, we engage with the public. What experience do we have? Are the experiences positive or negative? You know, where do we put our focus, our energy? Where do we feel safe, protected, perhaps isolated? How do other people make us feel that way, you know? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. A little bit longer than I planned it in my mind. This is going to be 2.5 minutes long, but never mind. It's a big subject, but I hope that has helped you. If you've not already done so, please consider subscribing. It would really help me. If you can push the like button, that would really help as well, because then I know if I should continue making these videos for you. You can also let me know if you've got any ideas. Like I said, the Celtic Cross will come up. Also, maybe today, if I've got time, I'm going to show you how I read rooms. I have a very specific way of laying out a 9-room box, which is effectively exactly like this. If I was to lay out only 9 cards, the bear, the stork, the snake, player 2, the heart, the book, the cross, the key, and the tower. I lay rooms exactly like this, and I'll show you how I do that. And we might at some point cover small spreads, but to be honest with you, my advice is just take it or leave it, but my advice is I would not bother with small spreads. I don't think this was ever designed for small spreads. I think it's a huge mistake. I think people get very confused. I see a million Facebook groups full of very, very, very confused people, all asking each other, what does the bear, the stork and the snake mean? And if they just learned to read a grand tableau, they could avoid this confusion, you know, and avoid just making up things that don't really make any sense. You know, it's muck Leno. That's what I call it. Muck Leno, muck tarot, muck runes, as in McDonald's. Sorry, don't sue me. But you know, it's the fast food equivalent of reading cards. The fast food equivalent of cartomancy, which it may be kind of bright and shiny initially, but afterwards it just, it's not great. Anyway, I will see you in the next video. Bye.